Good morning, my friends. Happy Movie Monday with Jody Breckbill, Stampin' Queen. I hope you all are doing well, staying safe, continuing on this journey that we are all on together and enjoying stamping at home. So I'm here today. I'm going to share another Movie Monday with you guys, and I am still obsessed with the Ornate Garden suite. I can't stop. I'm going to try. The retired list has come out. And so I'm going to start pulling out some of my older retiring stamp sets and playing with those. But in the meantime, I have a movie to share with you today. So I'm going to continue using the bundles. And I wanted to share this because I have a special offer. This is exclusive through me. Excuse me, you guys are the first people I've talked to today. When you purchase the bundle, you are going to get a free make and take kit from me. So either Ornate Style or Ornate Thanks or both. And so I wanted to do quickly and show you the 6 cards that you're going to get. So real quick, here is the Ornate Thanks bundle with the dies. And here is the Ornate Style set with those dies as well. Is that a little bit easier to see there? These are fantastic. I just absolutely love them. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to create the first card here for you. This is the first one we're going to do. I'm not going to put everything together, but just kind of show you the gist of things. And so I did use mint macaron, and that's our card base. Then we've got a layer of Whisper White here, which we are going to stamp on with Rococo Rose. That is one of our in colors. This one is not leaving. This is a current in color. So I'm just going to stamp right down here in the corner, do my thanks. I'm hoping I have my cleaner somewhere in this messy pile on my desk. Yes, I do. All right, so now the next step is that I have everything packaged here because this is a kit to go. I took a piece of our designer series paper from the Ornate Garden, and I'm going to cut it in half, but not in half point to point. I just put it in the trimmer and just randomly cut down through the center. So you're going to actually get 2 cards because you can do both panels, and we're going to attach that onto our Whisper White. Oh, my hands are not quite working today. Then I die cut out this border, which is so fun. And I'm just going to do some adhesive in those big giant flowers to hold them down. A little bit in the leaves you can do. Now this is going to be longer than your card, so you can kind of adjust to where you want it to go. And I'm going to go this way, I do believe. And I'm going to kind of cover up that seam a little bit. Alrighty. So now I can take my scissors and just trim off this extra, whatever's hanging over there. You'll have to be a little bit careful. Now we did, as demonstrators, we did see our new catalog this week, and you guys, I say it every time, don't I? But it is awesome. One thing that I'm going to share with you guys is that adhesive sheets are coming back, and that makes me super, super excited because you can, especially with these real detailed dies here, you can create them into stickers, and so putting them on is so much easier. All right, we still record? No, are we recording? All right, guys, so sorry about that. Hopefully I'm going to be able to splice this one together because all of a sudden my phone went blank, totally black. I couldn't see anything, and it's been doing that lately. I'm not sure what the deal is. So let's keep on going. The next thing I did, I just popped out these, I had 3. There's the little one. These 3 little flowers. This is in the same set, and I'm just going to attach them with glue dots. So if the centers come out, that's fine, no big deal, because we're going to cover up the center anyway with our gilded gems. So these guys go on with, glue dots. Nope, you don't want to stick today. There we go. You're going to be down here. There's my little mini. And you're going to go up here just for a little pop of color there. So now that panel will get mounted onto my mint macaron. Okay, the final step then, like I said, is going to be to use those gilded gems. Okay, they come in the set as well, and I'm just going to put gilded gems in the center, but I'm not going to make you guys wait and watch me do that, because I got a lot of cards to share with you, friends. All right, so our next card, so let's say, okay, that's one of the thanks cards, and this is the next one. Got all my pieces here. So I've got my Blushing Bride. I'm going to fold that in half. That's my card base. I have a piece of terracotta tile, so I'm going to put my designer series paper on there. Now, in the kit that comes with this class, you can use any designer series paper that you choose in this pattern, which is fun. Now I've got a piece of Blushing Bride that I went ahead and embossed with the coordinating Ornate Garden embossing folder, and I'm just going to run a strip across here to attach this border. I cut that out. That's the Ornate Thanks border. And I'm just going to meet that up right here at the edge and then attach that to this panel as well. Now I've got terracotta tile here. I believe when I did my video or my tutorial that I use Calypso Coral, and that's fine too. They're very, very similar colors. This one would just be a smidge darker, I think. And it is as well as one of the current in colors. It is not retiring this year. So that panel gets mounted on. Now I've always got white. That just goes on the inside. And you can stamp that and make that fun and pretty. So let's go ahead. These are the little flowers. I die cut those. The leaves that I did are out of the Cherry Blossom. This is in the mini catalog, and it's the one that coordinates with the Paris suite. And so I die cut those little leaves, and they cut and emboss, and they're fantastic. Super, super cute. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp my So Grateful in Old Olive. Let me find it here. There you are. And you look like you're a little bit crooked. So hit that one again. Now when you stamp, this is the stitched rectangle that comes in the die set as well. And you want to go a little bit high because I'm going to put another sentiment down at the bottom. So I've got my Old Olive here. Actually, you know what? That's not right. I'm going to trade that one because I'm stamping on the wrong kit. Same thing. You still need this one, and you're going to use Thanks. Where are you? There you are. Let's clean this one here. All right, sorry, I'm a little bit jumbled here, and that's okay. That's because I've got a very small workspace and all kinds of piles, and I'm using the same. This is no big deal. That's going to go in another kit, so that's still fine. But the one that comes in this kit with the Blushing Bride, we're going to do Thanks down here, kind of in the bottom. I don't want to go the whole way in the corner because I want to put those flowers there. And then I'm going to pull in my Blushing Bride. And I'm going to stamp seriously up here in this top. Okay, seriously, thanks. And now that's going to get mounted on, I think I am going to, what I do with my scissors, I'm going to trim it down just a little bit. I know I just had them. There they are. Because you see how long this is going to be? I don't want it to go off my paper. So I'm going to trim this one down just a little bit. Scissors is fine. This is going to get mounted with dimensionals. Then I'm going to build my flower base around there. And like I said, I'm not going to show you all of that, but you can see right here how I did glue dots and I just put them on. Some of them have dimensionals, but I just attached the flowers together and then I just slid the little leaves in there. So I'm going to save you from having to watch me do that. I'm just wanted to show you the gist of some pieces here so that you know what you're doing when you get your kits, or if you want to create them at home. All right, so that one, all right, the final one that goes with the Ornate Thanks is this gorgeous purple one. Oh, I love purple so much. So we've got Purple Posy. Here's the finished product. Okay. So we've got Purple Posy cardstock, fold that in half. Of course, I've got my white panel for the inside. Then I'm going to take, there's that rectangle again, and this is great. I love it because it coordinates so well with the stitched rectangles that we already have. Stamp my thank you in the center of that one, and my gorgeous grape. That one will get mounted onto this panel here. I did dimensionals because I love layer and layer of pop dots. And then I did my die cut with my roses. So I die cut this one out first, then I ran it through the subtle embossing folder. So I'm not sure that you can see it, but it looks like it's got some texture on there. And I wanted to be very careful that I did not emboss the roses. So I just stopped my folder right here when I ran that through because I was afraid that it would make them a little bit too thin and delicate. So I'm just going to attach that to the front of my posy piece. And I just left these free. I did not put any adhesive down across there. So attach that one on here. Okay, and then I just did my little gems there in the center, and all of these get put on with dimensionals to create that card right there. Now at the end, I'm going to come back in and show you something specific about this one. So I'm going to keep on working with my other ones, and we're going to come back in and I'm going to show you a little bit about how that flower works. Okay, so those were the 3 cards that coordinate with the Ornate Thanks. Now we're going to work with the 3 cards that coordinate with Ornate Style. So I'm going to pull in this one, and this is the one that I was messing up just a little bit. And we're going to fold our cardstock in half. That's Old Olive. Then very carefully, I'm going to cut off an inch on the side. Okay, so now our white panel will go here, and you're going to see a little bit of it there. So you could stamp on that if you choose to. Now I've got a piece of terracotta tile, and I'm going to layer a piece of our Designer Series paper on top of that. This is from the Ornate Garden as well, and like I said, you can choose whichever pattern you like. If you've got the paper, you can pick your favorite. And that goes on this edge right here. So just a little bit of a different opening fold kind of thing. All right, now I'm going to pull in our Memento Black and stamp the daisy on this white panel. And I'm going to go a little bit high because then I don't like that. My ink pad must be dry. How are you looking now? The sentiment's going to go across the bottom of the daisy, so I want her to be a little bit higher. There, that's better. Now, I would go ahead and color that daisy in with my Stampin' Blends. I'm not going to do that today. You guys know how to color, and if you don't, hit me up and I can help you out with that. One thing that I'm going to say real quick while we're working here is that if you guys have received the last chance list, you did notice that Stampin' Blends are listed on there. They are not retiring. Don't freak out. We are getting rid of the single packs, the single individual colors. We're getting rid of those. They're only going to be sold in the combo with the next catalog. We also are going to kind of renumber them a little bit. So don't worry, we are keeping our blends. There are only 3 that are discontinuing completely, and that would be Pineapple Punch, Call Me Clover, and Lovely Lipstick. So those are in colors, and that's why they're leaving. So don't worry if you saw the last chance list either from me or from your demonstrator. It's okay, they're not leaving. So that daisy is going to get mounted into the center of this beautiful scroll, which, oh, so pretty. We're going to mount that on this half of our card. So adhesive only on this side so that when you open it, it's going to stay like that. Now I did go ahead and do that with the Old Olive, and then I'm going to come in and stamp You Made My Day there at the bottom in terracotta tile. Okay, so this will be your finished card once you have done your coloring. You could put some Wink of Stella on there, and it's just got a little fun fold opening there. Okay, so let's keep rolling. This is definitely a fun one to create here. So I've got my Pretty Peacock, fold that in half, that's our card base. I've got my white panel for the inside. I used the rectangles, and I'm going to stamp my thanks. Let me clean this one real quick though, because I think I did use that in a different color. So stamp our thanks on here. If you don't have the stitched rectangles, no big deal. You just cut that and it just won't have the stitching. So I'm going to stamp or layer that onto that little die that is all scrolled and so cool. So much fun. Okay, that goes on there. Now I've got these 3 pieces. So what I'm going to do is pull out that layer, and I'm going to put just a little tiny bit of adhesive, and I'm going to, oh shoot, I must have some on my thumb. It's all right. This is a sample. Just be careful. I got a little bit of ink there. It might cover up. We'll see what happens. So I back up. I did a little bit of the adhesive in there just to hold it down. And I might need to get a piece of scrap paper. I don't want to stamp on my table here. So I'm going to cover that big flower. I've got some right here with the, where is it? It's down here now. Oh, there it is. On my thumb. I'll be darn. All right, so now what I'm going to do is just come in. Let's go ahead and we're going to slide that over and see if it'll cover up. And I'm going to stamp my flower in that corner. So I want to make sure that I get it good and inked. And I have good contact there. Then I'm going to do the same thing in the other corner. I'm going to come up and meet this one. And it's okay if you have some overlap. That's no big deal because your thanks is going to go in the middle. Okay, so now very carefully, you're going to peel this panel off. So that's why you just wanted a little bit of adhesive. This one's going to scoot, bring in that layer of Pretty Peacock. And I'm going to attach that like this. Then flip that over. And I'm going to match these flowers back up again. Now, they may not be exact, but pretty darn close. There we go. I forget what this technique is called. I wanted to say it's not spotlighting, but I'm not sure. Anyway, it's really fun to do that. And then that panel is going to go on just like that with dimensionals. Okay, super, super cool. I hope you guys are hanging in there with me. I got one more card to show you. And I need to clean this because I need that same stamp. Thank goodness for the chamois, right? And that is staying. That is not leaving us. Oh, there was the final card. So I put dimensionals on here, and then I did some of those little gems just for a pop. That was that card we just did. So now I've got this one, and it's all vanilla. So I've got my vanilla card base. I took a panel of Very Vanilla. Can you see that I embossed that with the Scripty embossing folder? So pretty. That one is staying. That's not retiring. So I'm just going to attach that to the front here. Close this one before we have an uh-oh again. I've got another piece of die cut out with that real pretty script, and then I've got this piece here which I went ahead and die cut ahead of time with the stitched rectangles. So I'm going to use that giant, rocking the camera, so sorry, that giant flower with Memento ink. So I'm going to get that nice and covered. And I just want to stamp it just kind of down in the corner here. Okay, now I'm not going to take the time, but I colored them all with our blends. Now there is no terracotta tile blend, but that's fine because I think between Cajun Craze and Calypso Coral, they match just fine. So I used that. I used Old Olive. I used Rich Razzleberry, I think, Daffodil Delight. So now I've got this little tiny piece here, and I'm going to pull in a sentiment from the Thanks. And I don't have the one I wanted. All right, so I'm not going to stamp that, but I'll show you the finished card. And that is this one right here. So I did So Here's a Card, and that's one I don't have on a block here. So there's where I colored everything with the blends. Then I mounted that on the scroll. The scroll is put on with dimensionals, and then I attached my little sentiment here, just did a little flag, and then I added Winkastella. So just such a gorgeous card. So there you go. Those are the cards I wanted to share with you. And I want to show you something real quick with one of the dies. So let me bring in my Big Shot. All right, let's see. Can you guys see okay? All right. So this is with the Ornate borders. And it is with this die. Now, when you put here at the bottom or wherever you're cutting, you want to pay attention to the edges. Okay, so I've got my thin edge here at the bottom, my thick edge here at the top. So can you see that this one is a little bit wider than the little leaves on here? When I cut this out, it's going to give me this. All right, so it cuts it off of it cuts it off here. So when you did that purple card, right, I had it attached. So what I wanted to make sure of is that when I do that layer on the purple card, if I want to keep those posies attached to my full piece of cardstock, my thin edge needs to be at the top because it will not cut. Okay, so see how it's going to leave it attached to the cardstock. That's the thin edge is at the top. Now, these do make a fun mess, I will say that. Of course, as you noticed, so many of these pieces do just kind of fall out. Running it across with the die brush will loosen those, or a little bit of poking, which I find really satisfying. It's kind of sick but true. Now you've got this panel in here, so if you want your flowers to be completely cut out, and I have a very, very thin edge, so let's hope that this works okay. You've got that funny little piece there. Oh, it's gonna move on me. So when you cut it, I would definitely make a bigger edge for sure. And I haven't used this yet, so I'm not sure how much. I feel like it needs to maybe come down almost like where I can't. All right, keep trying. I've got a little bit of a bend in my plate, and that's creating a bubble. All right, and like I said, this is the first time I'm doing this, so let's see how good I am at it. Don't move. If it moves on you, take a piece of washi tape or some Post-it note and show it who's boss. All right, so now you've got double. I should have totally done it on this piece. Oh my gosh, you guys. Anyway, does that make sense? I hope that's making sense to you. So if you wanted this to be free, you would just lay this over top and die cut these guys out, and then you have a complete border. So I wanted to share that with you in case that was a little bit confusing. So I probably have confused you even more, but thanks for staying with me. Have a wonderful Monday, and I will talk to you guys next week.